Now, you may have noticed, because we're in monsoon season, the incredible rain we've been experiencing. No, actually, this is one of the hottest and driest summers on record since the 1930s. Now, on a previous City Beat, we introduced you to some horses who star in the show Gladius, the show. More about that in a minute. But first, we want to show you how these celebrities keep their cool in this hot, dry summer. It's still before noon on this farm in the Northwest, and already the temperatures are nearly triple digits and showing no signs of slowing down. You might think these giant Belgian and Percheron horses would dread this weather. But why would they, when every morning and late afternoon they get to play in the water? These guys may weigh in at 2,500 pounds, but when the hose comes out, they're just like little kids.
Hi, Titus. You being pushy?
Alethea Shelton is co-owner of the horses and a performer in the show in which they are featured, Gladius, the show. She says this ritual is just as enjoyable for her as it is for them.
Right when it starts hitting 100 degrees, we'll come out here in the morning, and before I feed them, my normal morning ritual is grabbing the hose, and right when they see me, they kind of start flocking to the fence. And I spray them off for as long as they want, and some of them, you know, like to turn around and get it all over their bodies. Some of them like to get the hose in their mouth, and they just entertain me.
Some like to just get hosed down. Others act as though they don't have a completely full water trough. They do. But it becomes a game to see how much they can drink from the hose. They all have their own routine.
And then Cayman, one of the Percherons, will come over to the water trough and use his head to splash himself sometimes. So he really likes he likes it a lot. So they're all kind of different.
Some of the horses could take or leave the water game. So if you're one of the many nearby neighbors who drive by or stop by to see them and you see one appearing to be left out of the water game, don't worry. It's his choice. You know, you can lead a horse to water.
Especially when you don't know horses or you've never owned them, you can drive by and it feels really hot when you get out of your air-conditioned cars and, you know, you're wondering how they're standing out there in the sun. And our horses have adequate shade, but some of them will often choose to just lay out and sunbathe in the middle of the day, which I think they're crazy. But they adapt.
They adapt really well to the different weather conditions. I mean, there's horses in absolute below zero weather that do well, and there's horses obviously out here that do well. But we're a little bit, ours are a little overly pampered.
These giant guys get most of the attention by passers-by because, well, they're giant. But the rest of the gang, also part of the show and the farm, are never ignored. In fact, they make sure of it.
And then we've got, Aries, who wants to make sure everyone knows he's around.
They are our children because, one, they take a lot of care, so we have to be here present, you know, feeding them and everything. But there's 4 of us that work kind of around the clock with them. So we work in shifts and we're always communicating with each other, and our eyes are always on them. We're always making sure they're taken care of.